There are stories in the Bible that do not only inform the mind, but deeply confront the heart. Genesis 22 is one of them. Here we are not dealing with a simple ancient narrative. We are facing a profound test of faith, where everything Abraham believes about God is placed under maximum pressure. Abraham was called by God while still living in Ur of the Chaldeans. He left his land, his security, and his entire life structure to follow a promise he could not yet see. God told him he would make him a great nation, but there was an obvious human problem. Abraham and Sarah were elderly and had no children. Still, Abraham believed. Time passed. The waiting was long, and finally the miracle happened. Isaac was born, the son of the promise, the long-awaited son, the son who represented the visible fulfillment of God's word. But it is exactly at this point that the story takes an unexpected turn. God speaks to Abraham, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah. Offer him there as a burnt offering." This command is not just difficult, it seems contradictory. How can the same God who promised descendants ask for the son of the promise? Here begins the real test. It is not about Isaac. It is about trust. Abraham does not argue with God. The Bible does not record complaints or negotiations. It shows obedience. Early in the morning, Abraham rises. He prepares the journey. He takes his servants. He cuts the wood. And he sets out toward the place God showed him. For 3 days of travel, the silence must have been heavy. Every step was an inner struggle. Every kilometer was a silent conversation between faith and emotion. Finally, they arrive at the mountain. Abraham tells the servants to stay behind. And he goes up only with Isaac. The most powerful detail in the scene is this. The fire is with Abraham, the wood is with Isaac, but the lamb has not yet been seen. Along the way, Isaac asks the question that pierces the heart. "Father, where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" And Abraham answers something that echoes through generations. "God will provide, my son." This is not a convenient phrase. It is a declaration of faith in the midst of uncertainty. They reach the top of the mountain. Abraham builds the altar, arranges the wood, binds Isaac. And the biblical text does not go into emotional detail, but we can imagine the weight of that moment. The son of the promise is on the altar. God's promise seems about to be interrupted by God himself. Abraham raises his hand, and then heaven intervenes. A voice calls, "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay your hand on the boy." The sacrifice does not happen. God reveals that this was a test. And then Abraham sees a ram caught in the thicket. The substitute, the sacrifice provided by God. Isaac is spared. And in that moment, something deep happens. Abraham not only obeys God, he comes to know God in a deeper way. He understands that the God of the promise is also the God of provision. And the God who asks is also the God who cares. There is born an eternal principle. God does not only want what you have, he wants what you trust. In the middle of this spiritual journey, there is an invitation to continue. Faith is not an event, it is a habit. If you want to strengthen your mind daily and learn to trust God even in times of testing, click the subscribe button and join our restricted circle of spiritual growth. More than 3,000 hours of content on faith, wisdom, and purpose have already been shared here. If you are not part of it yet, you are not just watching, you are missing a transformation process. Formalize your decision now. The algorithm brought you here for a reason. Nothing here is random. Do not lose the direction of your faith or your spiritual growth. Subscribe and stay connected to the next teachings. SP is not just a channel. It is a movement of people who decided to live with purpose, wisdom, and faith in God. Tap the subscribe button and become part of this journey. If this message brought clarity to your heart, your subscription is not just a click, it is a decision for growth. Let's walk together in this journey of faith and understanding. The story of Abraham and Isaac is not about sacrifice itself. It is about trust. It is not about loss. It is about surrender. And it is not just about an ancient event, but about an eternal principle. True faith continues to trust even when it does not understand what God is doing. What seemed like a full stop turned out to be a new beginning. Because in the place where obedience seems to cost everything, God reveals that He had already prepared provision. And so, where faith is tested, new beginnings are born.